Good morning and welcome to the final day of the Great British 2026 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Championships. My name's Alex Kirkley. I'm your host and MC across today. Now, today is all about the future and the next generation of British timber sports. We'll crown both our women's champion and our rookie champion later today as some of the sport's most exciting athletes take this centre stage. In the Women's Championships, established stars and rising challengers will battle for national honours. And we're going to have our incredible women onto this stage shortly as they vie for the British title of 2026. So let's get behind every competitor, celebrate every performance and enjoy one more fantastic day of STIHL TIMBERSPORTS action. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Let's bring on the athletes. First up, we have Charlie Way, Sarah Cox, welcome out Louise Ellison, Izzy Bignell, Zoe Penlington, Justine Ellis, Libby Arrowsmith, Catherine Eccles, Georgia Lewis, and our reigning champion and 6th in the world currently, Rachel Ferrington. So there we have our amazing 11 athletes competing over 4 white-hot timber sports disciplines. And to preside over the action, we need our judges. Please welcome to the stage judges Bart Janssen and Radu Kazaku. So Bart and Radu will make sure things are done prim and proper today. Ahead of the first of our 4 timber sports disciplines. And in the control centre, we have video judge Jules Janssen, who will be checking and verifying every cut with the axes and the saws. Okay, and then I'm delighted to introduce my Canadian friend, from across the Atlantic. We brought him here. He's got his own special truck, his own studio. Delighted to welcome on board Mr. Troy Mannering. Good morning, Troy.
Good morning, Alex. Thanks very much, and welcome to all the people joining us on our live stream here today. It is going to be a fantastic day of action. We've got beautiful weather once again here, and coming up we have the women and the rookies that will be battling for supremacy on this STIHL TIMBERSPORTS stage. So we're looking forward to a fantastic day of timber sports action with the axe and saw in hand. For the meantime, let's take a quick look at our competition format for our women coming up.
The STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Women's Competition. All athletes will compete in 4 disciplines. The maximum points awarded for each discipline result from the number of participating athletes. The first discipline is the stock saw. The fastest athlete will receive points equal to the total number of athletes competing, down to 1 point for the last place in each discipline. The second event is the standing block chop. Points remain the same, awarded based on times, and as with all events, any rule infraction will result in a disqualification and the athlete will receive 0 points for that discipline. As the third discipline, every competitor will need to show their skill in the single butt. And in the underhand chop, it's the athlete's last chance to claim valuable points. The points from all disciplines are accumulated, and the athlete with the highest point total wins the competition.
Okay, Troy, we're a few years in now to our women's competition, and the levels just keep getting higher and higher.
Indeed, it has. We had our very first ever Women's World Championship in Budapest, Hungary last weekend. And as we see, we've got a large contingent of women here competing today. It's going to be very, very fun to watch and see how this progresses over the years. And it's always good to see more women joining these sports.
Yeah, of the 11 athletes you'll see on this stage today, 3 are champions or former champions even. And we're going to be putting them through their paces straight away with the STIHL chainsaw, the stock saw. Let's see what the stock saw is all about.
The STIHL MS661CM stock saw is used in STIHL TIMBERSPORTS as the ultimate test of operator skill. Designed for the toughest jobs in forestry, it produces approximately 7.3 horsepower, has a displacement of 91.1 cc, and weighs 7.4 kilograms. To ensure evenly and fairly matched saws, professional steel technicians prepare and test the saws before each competition. Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark, one downward and one upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
All right, let's get to it. 6 heats now for our 11 athletes. Here you see on the screens who's up first. We have Sophie Wren going alone in Heat 1, and don't forget she's up against the clock as each athletes are.
Yeah. So they're not actually eliminating each other from the stage. Some of the heats will have 2, as we see here with Izzy Bignell and Louise Ellison, and as we go on to Charlie Wayne, Zoe Pendleton. They will be competing 2 on stage normally, but it is really about getting the fastest time possible. So it's a little bit of a push. Tough job for Sophie Wren to start this off with because she's alone on stage. So that adrenaline is maybe going to have to come from the audience that's here live, and we'll hope that they will give her a little bit of a push as well today.
Looking out there, she's got a lot of support. Big crowd here this morning in beautiful Malvern, Worcestershire in Great Britain. We're ready to go.
Ready. Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Sophie gets into it right away. A little bit of a hover at the top of the cut, but she's got a nice transition to the upcut. A bit of a fat cookie. Oh, she's got to be real careful and maybe steer that saw around a bit to make sure she doesn't cut that line. And that's a 12.33 for Sophie Wren. And as it stands, a personal best. One final look by our judge, Bart Janssen, to make sure that no line has been cut and we have a fair cookie on the deck. So a lot of inspection going on because these guys want to make sure that that line has not been cut, and it is under review at the moment to ensure that we do have a complete cookie on the deck and no cut line. That is a big deal here, and that is a big cookie that Sophie cut on that second upcut, so hopefully we'll be fair, and they're really taking a very, very close look at it here.
Nervous wait now for Sophie.
She's sweating bullets up front there.
Both judges deliberating.
So what they're going to do right now is Dan Janssen will cut off that piece so that they can actually take it in the hand and have a closer look at it and really, really get into the deep grooves of the check to make sure that we have a fair cut. And this is something that's really important for our athletes as well, that these 2 judges that are on stage there do everything possible to make sure that the cut is in fact fair, and we do have good cookies on the deck. So let's see what Radu has to say here.
Okay, the cut is through.
Okay, it was a long
Yes.
it was a long wait to get that reaction, but that's the reaction that Sophie wanted to get there. So let's take a look back here what happened. So she hovered ever so slightly on that first cut. It was a nice first cut. It wasn't a massive cookie. There is where she ran into the problem. She swung over a little bit on her upcut and took a very, very big cookie on that second cut, and that is getting her real close to the line. They only have 10 centimeters in which to cut those 2 cookies off, so if you're not really targeting very, very well with a clean transition to the upcut, it can sometimes result in skipping over to the line. But in this case, Sophie Wren had a little bit of luck on her side, so we have our first numbers in the book.
Okay, ready to move on now with Heat 2. Izzy Bignell and Louise Ellison. They are taking the stand in this stock saw Heat 2. And Troy, you often talk about thin to win. You saw a couple of chunky cookies, the dish flying off.
The ideal situation is to have the thinnest possible cookie out front of the saw as it's cutting, because it doesn't bind on the chain and the bar as much. But that being said, there is a risk of a cutout or an incomplete cookie if you can't really get it done well. So, and you can see the routine that these women have when they go up on stage. There's little nuances that they all do, some of them differently, some of them the same, just to make sure that they're really, really set for this cut.
Hey, athlete, warm up your souls. Ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good even start by both Izzy and Louise as they get into it. Louise has got herself a nice cut. Oh, fantastic transition from both of them. Are they going to be clean on the up? Louise Ellison with a personal best 12.96 and Izzy Bignell with a 13.72. Very nice cuts there. Looks like we've got an immediate thumbs up for Louise and for Izzy as well.
Congratulations, both cuts are good.
Great work from both athletes. Big shout out to Izzy making her debut in a women's championship today. So this is her first time picking up a chainsaw in full competition.
You can see that starting cut from Louise Ellison was really nice. She got into the wood very quickly. Louise did quite well, Izzy did quite well on that start as well. You can see on the upcut though, she can lean into that a little bit more. She's using her thigh to support and push that saw on the upcut, but she's got a beautiful thin cookie on the upcut, so that's a couple of really, really excellent cuts there for Izzy Bignell and Louise Ellison.
Heat 3 now. Charlie Way and Zoe Penlington. Zoe, a former British champion, will be looking to put all the pieces of the jigsaw back together and challenge for a podium finish today, as will Charlie, no less, in this Heat 3, kicking us off this first discipline, the stock saw.
All right, again, all these preparations on stage just to make sure that the muscle memory is right there for each of them. Zoe knows what needs to be done here. Looking for both of these women to have good cuts.
Hey, warm up your souls. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Charlie Way was spring-loaded on that one. She got into that cut very quickly. Nice transition from Zoe on the upcut. Looks like she's gonna, oh, she bogged down a little bit on the upcut, and Zoe's got a 12.88, and Charlie Way taking a PB at 11.72. A little bit too hard on the pull there by Zoe on the upcut, and that saw, you could hear it start to slow down a little bit.
Congratulations, both cuts are good.
Here we see Zoe. Zero hesitation getting into that block. Oh, that's a nice thin cookie as well. Fantastic transition as well, and a very, very thin second cookie, I believe. That was for Charlie Way, who, by the way, has the fastest time so far in our stock saw results with an 11.69. You can see right there on the upcut, the saw just slowed down a little bit for Zoe, and then she got it going again and finished that cut.
Okay, the next two competitors, seasoned professionals of STIHL TIMBERSPORTS, Sarah Cox and Justine Ellis. Incredible story here with Justine. She's a former GB champion, a former strongwoman. She gave birth just 9 weeks ago, and this is her commitment to the sport. Amazing to see her on this stage today, taking part in these championships. Just shows how driven she is. And Sarah, again, looking in great form, training hard.
Eight, one on the close. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Quick start by Sarah Cox on the left-hand side of your screen. She got into it quickly. Justine Ellis, though, looking really good on that cut. Nice transitions. Oh, a little bit of a bobble for Justine Ellis as she's got a cutout, had to reposition. Sarah Cox with a PB 11.64, and that's going to put her atop the stock saw results there with the fastest time so far. And for Justine, it was a little bit of a cutout at the bottom, and she had to reposition that saw to get a complete cookie on the deck. So a bit of a time penalty there in that case.
Hey, those cuts are good.
So far, Sarah Cox in the lead with a personal best 11.54. Charlie Way in second there with an 11.69. And Sophie Wren sitting in third place with a 12.23. All three of them with personal bests. And we see this upcut here. Yeah, the repositioning of the saw for Justine has unfortunately killed off the possibility of a fast time, and you can see here in the replay she had a cutout. She realized it at least very quickly and then went back in, repositioned that saw, and adds a couple of seconds to the time, unfortunately.
Two rising stars now of the women's circuit in Heat 5. Georgia Lewis, runner-up last year, and Libby Arrowsmith takes to the stand in the stock saw.
Georgia's coach is none other than 5-time men's champion Glenn Pendleton.
Hey, one on the close. Athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good start. Both Georgia and Libby looking nice and even on this one. Oh, fantastic transition by Georgia Lewis on the upcut. She's got a good time. 11.11 PB, and Libby Arrowsmith with an 11.91. A fast time puts her in fourth right now, and Georgia Lewis moves to the top of the stock saw results. You can see how close this is between each of these competitors. It is just literally milliseconds difference.
Congratulations, those cuts are good.
So the Competition Control Center got their hands on it. Georgia Lewis's time has been improved, in fact, to a 10.98, a personal best for her. Libby Arrowsmith Aerosmith to 11.70. Solid time still in 4th place there, so she is right in the mix. Watch these transitions from these women, though. Just a little bit of a big swing there from Libby, and the transition on Georgia's side, if I remember, was pretty quick and clean. Nice final cut up there from Georgia. So both of them doing a great job.
Statement of intent from Georgia, posting the full 11 points right now. And here we go with 2 incredible athletes, Catherine Eccles and Rachel Ferrington. Kat finished 3rd last year, and Rachel, our champ, our reigning champ, 6th in the world, and the world record holder in the stock saw, no less.
Yeah, and you can see in these preparations how quick she is getting up to the wood. No hesitation at all. Let's see how it all flows for Catherine Eccles and Rachel Ferrington here.
Okay, warm up your pose. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my goodness. How quick was that into the wood by Rachel Ferrington? She's looking on point to maybe not repeat a world championship or a world record, but is a quick run today. Oh, but Kat Eccles with a fantastic upcut and an 11.90, and Rachel Ferrington with a 13.69. She was so fast into the wood at the top. The first cut was nice and clean. Transition was good, but the upcut slowed down a little bit for her.
Okay, congratulations, both cuts are good.
Troy just shows what can happen. Anything can happen on the day.
Indeed.
You've got the world record holder in Rachel having a tough start to competition with what is arguably her favourite event.
Yeah, Catherine Eccles with a really nice cut there, 11.77, is currently sitting in 5th place in the stock saw results. Georgia Lewis with the fastest time of the day so far with a 10.98. Sarah Cox and Charlie Way in 2 and 3 respectively with an 11.54 and 11.69. So, yeah, good start to our competition here for the women.
Yeah, wide open already. So stock saw results, 6 out of 11 personal bests have tumbled, which is what we want, and it's the right direction STIHL TIMBERSPORTS in this country is going. And Georgia Lewis takes all 11 points, hotly pursued by Sarah Cox. She takes 10, and Charlie Way 9 points. So we are up and running.
Yeah, it's been a great start to the competition, as I mentioned, and we've seen some good cuts. Sometimes a little bit of bad luck happens. You have to reposition your saw, which we saw there from Justine Ellis, who is normally pretty strong in this discipline. But that happens. That's part of the competition, and we are also dealing with competition wood. It's a natural product, so sometimes it might bind a little bit more in certain parts. You just never know what you're going to get out there. But that's part of it, and everybody's got to deal with the same issues from time to time. But like I said, really, really nice start into this competition. And at this point, it's about the consistency through all 4 disciplines to see who's going to end up atop that podium today.
And those women, Troy, that haven't necessarily picked up the big points they wanted, what's the advice to them? Or what would they be saying to themselves?
Calm down, take a deep breath, and focus on the next discipline. It's one game at a time. If you try and focus on what's at the end of the road, you might miss what's in between your starting point and the finishing point. So just do what you need to do from step to step to step.
And as we know with TIMBERSPORTS, there's so much to think about, so much going on. There's chainsaws, there's axes, there's every detail matters, every second counts. So, yeah, remain calm.
Indeed.
It's easy to say. All right, we're going to move on to our next discipline, a classic timber sport, the standing block chop. So let's take a look.
The axes used in timber sports definitely can't be bought at your local hardware store. Made from special steel, the blade is hand-sanded with an angle of 13 to 16 degrees. It's custom built and carefully adjusted for each competition. The weight is around 3 kilos and it's about 80 centimeters long. The blade is so sharp that you could shave with it. Standing block chop. At the standing block chop, the felling of a tree with an axe is simulated. A vertically positioned wooden block with a diameter of 25 centimeters has to be cut through from both sides. A powerful and precise swing with the axe is the premise of a good result.
Right, here we go, standing block chop, 5 heats. And first to take the stand is Izzy Bignall and Louise Ellison. So our amazing Woodchucks crew clearing the stage. We've got Charlie Wayne, Sarah Cox in Heat 2, Justine Ellis, 2 former champions no less in Heat 3, Justine Ellis and Zoe Penlington, Libby Arrowsmith and Georgia Lewis. Georgia getting off to a great start in that stock saw. They're in Heat 4 and Heat 5. The final heat of this discipline will be Kat Eccles and Rachel Ferrington, our reigning champ. So this is classic timber sports, simulating the cutting through, felling of a tree. And the stands are being set and prepared.
So we have a little bit of a incongruity between what we showed you on our screen there and where we are actually starting. Heat 1 will in fact contain Charlie Way and Sarah Cox, as Izzy Bignall, Louise Ellison and Sophie Wren will not be cutting on the standing block chop. Incongruity. I haven't used that word in about 1,000,000 years, if ever.
Worth a few points in Scrabble.
I would say so, yeah.
Two athletes who won't be scrabbling around now, Charlie Way and Sarah Cox, as they undertake their final preparations for this standing block chop.
Hey, athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Sarah Cox immediately with a bit of a sticky up hit, but she's got it going now. Charlie Way chipping out nicely on that first side. The idea here is to get in with about 8 to 10 hits on that first side and switch over to that second side, keep those angles as good as possible and switch to that second side. Charlie Way now moved on to the second side of her block. Both of them pushing hard here. Sarah Cox still on that first side, looking to go very deep by the looks of it. To do less work on that second side. Charlie Way coming close to it. She's almost through that block. 3 or 4 more drivers perhaps. She's got tons of power. She's going to get there, and there it goes. 54.80 for Charlie Way, and a personal best in the standing block chop. Sarah still fighting at it. Almost there. Getting lots of support from her husband on the sidelines here, screaming and yelling. Oh, and that is a gut punch right there. Time limit exceeded as a disqualification. That is a really, really tough discipline. Sarah's breathing hard after that heat.
Hey, a disqualification on this stand, out of time. However, the stand is okay, count it through.
Congrats to Charlie, commiserations to Sarah. Yeah, I think we're all breathing hard after that one. Real tough effort, but great performance from Charlie.
Yeah, it takes a long time to get really adept at the standing block chop because it's about one of the most difficult disciplines to become good at because of the angles that you have to have. If you over-angle that axe, it's going to skip. If you don't have enough of an angle, then you're cutting straight into that block, and then what's happening is you're not cutting efficiently and chipping out. So, yeah, it's a tough one to get. And you can see here on the backside, now that the block is gone, the scarf had nice even cuts on it. There were a couple of steps on there, and by Sarah here you can see a little bit of salad still left in there, so she's cutting a lot of new wood each time, so that drains the energy banks a lot as well.
Yeah. Two former champions with points to prove. In Heat 3 of the standing block chop, we welcome on Justine Ellis and Zoe Penlington.
Can't argue Justine's dedication to the sport coming back that soon after giving birth, so kudos to her for that. Zoe Penlington, a legend in women's timber sports in Great Britain.
Hey, athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, right away, Zoe with some nice big chips flying off of that block, but this one got sticky on her on that one side, but she recovered quickly. Justine also getting some nice cuts in there as well. You got to keep a look at those angles going up and down. Zoe Penlington moving over to the second side of her block now. Big swing on the upcut and the down. Nice chip coming out there. Justine still working on that first side. Now she'll move over to that second side. Zoe cleaning up on that second side nicely. Justine Ellis getting there, and Zoe looks like she might be close to it. She really wants to have it now as she's pushing hard, and she drops the block. That personal best that's on screen I don't think is correct. 52.03 may still be a personal best for her. Yes, in fact it is, and it looks like the Competition Control Center has already made their adjustments on our timing system here, a 51.74, and Justine Ellis has got herself a personal best as well with a flourish. Very, very nice. 108.11 for Justine. Great job. And that's the cut we wanted to see from Zoe. That was a really nice cut.
Congratulations, those cuts are good.
Textbook performance from Zoe. Things coming together for her this morning, and also a great showing from Justine, and we were able to finish with a curtsy. Still got the energy for a curtsy. Brilliant.
You can see those chips coming off of that block initially, and you can see on the backside there that Zoe just had a bit of a sticky axe. She put a bit too much power into it and got it caught in there, and that requires a bit of energy to pull that out. But a really, really nice job by both of these women to just get into it and get the job done. Both of them walking away with personal bests here, which is definitely what we like to see, always. And a very nice run from Zoe Penlington. So with that, Zoe has managed to gain some good points thus far. I mean, there is still 2 more heats to go for our women, and that's going to determine where the overall standing is after the standing block chop. But for the moment, Zoe is currently sitting in second place in the overall standing. So it's a good, strong showing for her on that standing. I like the curtsy and the bow afterwards with the flourish as well. So very nice.
Troy, we've got 2 heats to go, 4 more athletes. Just want to talk a little bit now about the psychology of being a reigning champion, the position that Rachel Ferrington's in, and you get off to a sticky start, and you've got some elite competitors breathing down your necks. You've got Georgia Lewis, who's got the bit between her teeth today. You've just seen Zoe Penlington post an incredible performance there in the standing block chop. So from Rachel's perspective, how are the nerves going to be right now?
I think she's going to be okay. You know, we had her in an interview the other day, and, you know, she says by virtue of her work ethic, she's gotten to where she is. And I think the mindset with that work ethic is also going to help her step back a notch. And like I mentioned earlier, take a breath and don't worry about what's down the road. Just worry about the next discipline that you have to concentrate on. She's no slouch, you know, not at all. And we know that she'll probably come up there and she'll do what she needs to do. I don't think she's worrying too much about the target on her back or the butterflies or anything like that. I think she's just going to get out there and do it. But we do know that Georgia's showing well here today, and Zoe has just put down a fantastic time in that standing, and she would like to be back on the top of that podium again as the women's British champion.
We also know that there's a big community feel here, you know, so they are trying to win. Let's get this right. But they do support each other completely throughout, so they're helping each other in the training, they're spotting each other. So there's a real zest to move this sport onwards and upwards, and it's great to see. So here we go. We are moving things onwards now. Heat 4 in the standing block shot. We have Libby Arrowsmith and Georgia Lewis.
Libby's been working hard on this discipline to try and get herself under that minute mark. I feel like she might be able to do it today. Georgia, a 57.28 personal best. That puts her right in the mix to be among the top athletes here today in that under the minute mark. But it all comes down to that natural material that they're dealing with. You know, you never know what's inside once you open that block up. But I feel like both of them can have a real good cut here today. So let's see how it fares.
Hey, athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Good pace from both Libby and Georgia as they get into that block, chipping nicely. And you could see the work that both of them have been putting in. Libby's got a bit of salad in there, but she's trying to get rid of it with some big drivers. Georgia moving on to the second side of her block already. And there goes Libby to the second side of her block now. Just passing the 30-second mark, looking good for both of them. Georgia's almost there. Oh, yes, that is a new national record. Oh, 42.05 for Georgia Lewis. And there it is. A fantastic cut from Libby Arrowsmith, under a minute at 57.7. I knew she could do it. Great job by both of them to have fantastic cuts today. Wow. That puts Georgia Lewis atop the standing block shop results. Libby Arrowsmith sneaks in there in second place. Zoe Penlington now holding on to third place, and Charlie Way in fourth. Justine Ellis down in fifth right now.
Okay, congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Okay, yeah, you've just smashed a national record and just keeping things chill.
Yeah.
See Georgia
Just
there,
relax.
taking it in a stride.
No.
You know, let's move on.
I think I'll murder this block here today.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, let's have some fun. And after I look at the time adjustment from Competition Control Center, we are actually dealing with an improved time for Georgia Lewis, 41.77, and Libby Arrowsmith with a 55.3. And you can see both of them were highly motivated. You could see that there has been work put in the off-season to make sure they're on point for this event here today. A great job by both of them to really, really show. And this was really impressive from Libby because she's been above the minute mark for the last little while, and this cut was great for her.
Yeah, okay, Heat 5 now. In the standing lock shot, we've got Kat Eccles and Rachel Ferrington. So Kat's made the big journey down from Scotland. And it's a proper family affair, this. Kat's competing here today, and her son Logan is chasing success in the rookies later. And here we go,
Nice.
our reigning champ, Rachel Ferrington. She needs the big points on the board.
Okay. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, neither of these women seem to be afraid of this block at all, as they're both getting in, chipping out very, very nicely. Rachel Ferrington just murdering this side of the block. She's got a bit of a closed face on that one, but it looks pretty clean. And then they both move over to that second side at the same time. Kat Eccles looking very good on her side as well. Plenty of power coming from both of them. Cleaning up nicely. Could we see some fast times here today as we're getting close to it by Rachel Farrington's block? It looks like it's wiggling a little bit. Still got some work to get through there. Kat Eccles close to it though. Sticky axe there for her, and she might get through there a little bit faster than expected. A couple more drivers for Kat. Maybe it's going to come off for Rachel here as well. There she goes. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. 5.663 for Kat Eccles. 5.674 for Rachel Ferrington.
Yeah.
That's about as close as it gets.
Real photo finish.
Okay. Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So look at that. After adjustment, 5.661 and 5.651. So Rachel Ferrington just a hair faster than Kat Eccles on the final driver. And you can see the focus here. And this is a little slip there. The angle was a bit too steep, but it didn't seem to affect her at all. And this is what I was talking about. You know, that work ethic and that mindset from Rachel Ferrington really helped her out here. So she is in the middle of the pack at the moment with the standing block chop in 5th place. And Kat Eccles sitting in 6th there as well. And you can see on the second side here for Kat Eccles. No, that's the first side, excuse me. Your targeting and your power have to mix well here, making sure you get good, clean sides.
Kat's living proof. You know, if you have commitment to a sport and you're willing to put the hours in the practice, despite, you know, having limitations on what you're working with at home, for example, Kat's not got a massive amount of space, but she, you know, she'll pick up an axe, move the wheelie bins out of the way and just get training.
Yeah, and you can see, look at that final driver from both of them. So close, being dead even.
Yes, so we saw an unfortunate DQ for Sarah Cox, but then the points are split accordingly. Georgia Lewis taking 11 of those. Libby Arrowsmith with 10, a personal best. Georgia Lewis, that national record, you know, absolutely
She's
rapid.
Gonna be cuffed by that.
Yeah, Zoe Penlington in 3rd, 9 points there. Another PB tumbling, as we saw as well from Charlie Way, who moves up to 3rd overall. This field is wide open today, Troy.
It very much is, but right now, Georgia Lewis with a solid 22 points atop the leaderboard. Just behind her, Libby Arrowsmith, and then Charlie Way, Zoe Penlington, and Kat Eccles, the top 5 for the moment. But we still do have one more discipline coming up, and that is the single buck. Let's take a quick look at the tool and discipline for single buck.
The 2-meter-long cross-cut saw used for the single buck discipline is made especially for competition. A series of consistently patterned 10-centimeter-long teeth are cut with a laser on one side of the saw and then hand sharpened. Saw teeth are divided into 2 types, cutters and rakers, just like on the old-school saws. The saw weighs about 5 kilos and its base price starts at around 1,500 euros. Single buck. The single buck is a one-man saw about 2 meters long. With this, the athletes have to cut off a complete disc from a 40-centimeter thick wooden block. The perfect interplay between rhythm and strength is the key to success.
So we have a full set of heats now, Alex. Everybody's back in the mix for the single saw, which should be fun to watch.
Well, you say it'd be fun to watch, but we call it the misery whip for a reason, Troy.
Yes, this is true. It can be one of the most fun disciplines to participate in, but it also can make you miserable if that saw decides to stop mid-cuts. And Louise Ellison will be on stage by herself for this one, and she'll be battling against the time to try and get the fastest cut possible. And again, just have to cut one cookie off of that block, but there are so many things that factor in here with the single buck. Position, flow, pace.
Whip or non-whip. And look at the teeth on that saw.
Yeah, that is a very aggressive saw. So what she's doing right now is just setting that guide cut. They do this so that all the athletes start from the same depth in the cut, and they don't have to worry about the saw skipping around on the top as they begin their competition. And you can see that little meter, that guide that Bart Janssen just checked the depth with to make sure that that saw sits at the right level, and she'll position that. Final checks, and we are getting ready to go. So Bart just noticed that the grip deck there for the single buck was a little bit over polished, given that position that Louise is going to be cutting from, and so they're just going to move things around a little bit to make sure that she's got the best possible conditions and grip for her cut here.
And who would have identified that, Troy? Who would it have been the athlete, Louise, or the on-stage
in this
group?
case, it was Bart that noticed that, and he double blasted his whistle to make sure that all action on stage stopped, and everybody was aware that there would be something taken care of here. Sometimes the athletes will, pick up on it, and they'll put a hand up and say, "Hey, wait a minute, things aren't feeling exactly right for me." So it is up to the athlete, but sometimes our judges will say, "Well, wait a minute," and then fix things up.
Okay, athlete, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, Louise gets things going here. A little bit of a sticky saw at the start. You got to try not to wobble it too much, as we both know from painful experience. And now she gets into that flow as she gets out of that short wood, and she just wants to keep that saw moving and keep that flow as much as possible. I don't know if it's the way that the log was cut or if she's cutting at an angle, but it seems like she's cutting into, now it looks like the way the log was cut previous, so. Yeah, coming down to the bottom of the cut. This is where it gets difficult in that short wood. It can hook up very quickly. So Louise Ellison with a 45.61.
Congratulations, the cut is good.
So that time was markedly better than either of us could ever imagine doing, Alex. But yeah, it's a bit sticky at the top of her start. Here, let's take a look in the short wood at the top here. She got a couple of, yeah. moments where that saw completely stopped on her and then just had to restart it. And you can see that rocking motion. Each time that that happens, it's either a cutter or a raker tooth that's going to hook on the edge of that wood. So it's just about trying to keep that flow going as smoothly as possible. And, you know, as we mentioned, this can be a very difficult discipline, but it can also be a lot of fun. Here at the bottom, it got a little bit risky, but she didn't make it a very, very thin cookie, so she wasn't worried too much about it breaking out on her, and she got a complete cookie on the deck, and the cut was good, so a time is in the books for her, 45.35, as we move on to our next heat.
Yeah, we're moments away from bringing on our next two athletes onto the stage. Sarah Cox, who will be looking to put the disappointment of a standing block chuck behind her, and Charlie Way, who is going great guns, posting a PB in that last discipline, the standing block chop. But the single buck is a real leveler.
Just putting the grip pads back in the original position now, because most athletes are cutting from the same side, so it's only occasionally that we see athletes cutting from the other side of the block looking in. And a big kudos to, as you like to call them, our woodchucks, the guys that are the stage crew that come up there and clean up and reset everything for each of the disciplines. They're a very, very important part of this whole competition. So we're just waiting on the go-ahead from our stage manager, as Bart was just going back into the competition control center briefly to check on something. Okay. So it looks like we are good to go with our next heat coming up with Sarah Cox and Charlie Way.
I'm quoting Sarah now when she says, you can't muscle your way through single buckets. There's so many things to think about in this. The rhythm, the teeth of the saw, getting things right, getting off to a good start.
Hey, athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Charlie Way getting into it with a very quick start there, and she's got a fast pace. She's not really using the entire length of that saw. She's probably at about 80% of it. Meanwhile, Sarah Cox is picking up the pace through the middle of her cut. Oh, got sticky there though. Spoke too soon for Sarah, I'm sorry. and she's using a lot more of that saw, a very efficient cut. Oh, but she's got a very thin cookie at the bottom, and that causes problems right away, but she was good to hold that saw in place and make sure she got that last little tab off. That's a couple of pretty scary moments there. Sarah Cox getting to the bottom of that cut in 30.04 seconds, breaking that cookie off, but managed to hold the saw in position, which is very, very difficult. Charlie Way with a 28.72, and that is 3 personal bests so far on the day in the single buck.
Okay, congratulations, both cuts are good.
We'll hopefully get a look at the bottom of Sarah Cox's cut, because she had a mega thin cookie at the bottom. There's Charlie Way, looking really, really smooth. Now, as I mentioned, she was using about 80% of the length of her saw. She got off to a quick start, and then she just kept that pace throughout. Now, Sarah Cox, she was a little bit slower at the start, but then picked up the pace through the middle. But you can see at the bottom of the cut here, she got really thin and a little bit of a bend, and luckily she held that saw in place. Very difficult to do, and that is some serious control as she managed to hold it in place and get that last little tab off. So good job by Sarah Cox to, not panic in that moment.
Okay, heat 3 of the single buck. We're going to have Sophie Wren and Zoe Penlington.
Here comes Sophie on the stage, followed by Zoe Penlington. Zoe should be able to put in a good cut here today, hopefully. Sophie Wren's personal best of 50.66.
Looks like Zoe's going to have to smash through her PB of just over 38 seconds if she wants some of these bigger points to be registered on our leaderboard.
Indeed.
But the way things have been going today, Troy, we've seen loads of personal bests being toppled.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Very nice start here. Sophie Wren angling a little bit, got slowed up, but got back into the pace. Zoe Penlington keeping that saw going as she's getting into the long wood in the middle of that cut. Sophie Wren's got a pretty thin cookie there, and Zoe's got a nice pace going on here as they both get into a good flow towards the bottom of that cut. Sophie got a little bit stuck there. Oh, and she's got a tab, and Zoe Penlington's done it in 30.98 seconds. A personal best, and here is that situation that is an absolute nightmare for these athletes. You get that tab at the bottom, and then you have to place the saw back on this tiny little toothpick piece of wood and cut that thing off to make it a full cookie.
Okay, congratulations, both cuts are good.
A breath of relief from Sophie Wren there, as she wasn't sure, but yeah, she got it back up there and cut it off. A very nice cut from Zoe Penlington. That puts her in third place in the single buck for the moment with a 36.2. Sophie Wren right behind her with also a personal best 38.56.
Yeah, another couple of PBs, and Zoe shaving around 8 seconds off her PB. We said that's what she needed to do today, and you really got a feel for the athletes when you're left with that little tiny piece of wood lingering.
Terrible, hey, that little thing at the bottom. How you deal with that? break out the Leatherman and cut it off. Yeah.
Right, heat 4. We are moving on through. Here we go. Izzy Bignell and Kat Eccles. So, yeah, Troy, what does it take to harness one of these 2-meter long saws?
A lot of practice. I mean, some of our athletes have 2 and 3 of these things. They have 2 of the same teeth configuration, one they use for training and one they use for competition, because the teeth are so precisely sharpened and shaped that you don't want to use your practice saw in competition because it might not cut as clean. And they are not cheap. They're very expensive.
Okay. Athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Kat Eccles off to a speedy start, going for pace as she tries to move that saw quickly. Izzy Bignell doing quite the same as she starts to get to about the middle point of that block now. Kat got a little bit sticky, and she still continues to keep that saw moving quickly. She's got flow, though, and it's not stopping on her at all, so this is going to bode well for both of them as they get down to the bottom of the cuts there. Izzy Bignell with a 27.17 and Kat Eccles with a 27.96. Beautiful cuts for both of them. Izzy Bignell takes the top spot in single buck with Kat Eccles right behind her in second. 2 more heats to go as well. This is jumping all over the map right now. It's amazing, and every single cut so far has been a PB.
Okay. Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Incredible runs from all our women so far in this single buck, and Izzy Bignell putting the cat amongst the pigeons there with an incredible performance. This is Kat Eccles. Amazing technique consistently from Kat, and Izzy really pulling it out of the bag at the business end of this Women's Championships.
Yeah, just looking at the overall rankings with 2 heats still to go, and it's only 5 points that separate 4th and 1st place here. So it's, as you say, all to play for still. I mean, great performances from everybody so far. I really love seeing these personal bests fall by the wayside. That's does a heart good.
Okay, heat 5. In this single buck, Justine Ellis, former GB champion, and Libby Arrowsmith, they take to the stage. And another lovely family story with Libby, who's been part of the Women's Championships for a couple of years now and was inspired by her mum, who was a former, one of the first female competitors here in Great Britain.
Great shot through the gussets of Libby's saw down to the audience by our cameraman Manu.
Okay.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
There we go. Oh, look at Justine Ellis get into that wood. She's going for fast pace. Libby Aerosmith going for those long draws on that saw. Oh, Justine Ellis is fast. Look at, she's got to the bottom of this one quickly. This may be the fastest time of the day as she is almost there. Oh, it is a national record. 20.69 points for Justine Ellis, a national record in the single saw. What a fantastic performance there. You saw her start quick and she was just not having it. Libby Aerosmith as well, 23.56. She's got a personal best there, sitting in second place right now in the single saw. Justine Ellis takes that one with a bullet, though.
Hey, congratulations. Both cups are good.
Yes, every single athlete now has posted a personal best, and then a wonderful national record from Justine, and we can't underestimate, 9 weeks ago she was giving birth. And
unbelievable.
To come back and not only perform as well as she is doing today, but to set a national record. Superb work, Justine. And this royal wave at the end we get now from Justine becoming her signature.
Gotta have the characters out there, right? Oh, that was also a really nice finish cut from Libby.
And this is a heat you are not going to want to take your eyes off now.
I don't think you're going to be able to. You might miss the cut.
Yeah. Georgia Lewis, second last year, knocking on the door this year to take the title potentially away from our reigning champ, Rachel Ferrington. So here we go. You say, Troy, you want to be able to keep the composure, go through the process.
It really is about that. It's just about the process. If you've got it down and dialed and you follow each of the steps that you used to doing, then you know you don't lose your composure. And I mean, they've trained so hard and so long at making sure that each of the steps that they take to get to this point and get ready for that start whistle, or at least the go, is just basically down to academics, and then it's all muscle memory and fitness, of course.
Okay, Atlas, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, a bit of a sticky start there for Rachel Ferrington. Georgia Lewis got it clean, though, and she is really getting into it. You can see she's really stepping into each one of those pushes. Her drawbacks are very solid. Rachel Ferrington trying to keep in that flow as well. She got a couple of sticky ones, an angle change caused problems for her. But Georgia's at the bottom of that cut with a 23.32 personal best, and Rachel Ferrington with a 27.47. Got a little bit caught up on a couple of times. She could be feeling the pressure at this point, and was a bit slower than anticipated. Georgia Lewis, 23.32, second fastest time of the day, just behind Justine Ellis, though. And that's actually been just adjusted by our competition control center, Jules Janssen, to a 23.07 after he looks at it with those high-speed cameras.
Okay, congratulations. Both cups are good.
You can see there a couple of sticky ones, and that stopped that saw, and it became definitely the misery whip for Rachel. It's a bit of an uphill battle for her now at this point, as defending that title is going to be very, very difficult. And that's nothing against Rachel at all. It just tells you where everybody else is You know, they've been training hard. They saw what Rachel did last year and how fantastic she was. They wanted to make sure they were on par with her, and we've certainly seen that.
And that's amazing to see the number of personal bests toppling. We have a new national record as well, set by Justine Ellis. Something that she should be really proud of. I'm sure she will be as well. To come here today, so soon after giving birth. And then let's see now how that affects the overall standings. Georgia Lewis now has a 5-point lead as we go into the final discipline over Libby Arrowsmith in second place, and Charlie Way, she's currently in third with 22. And then the remaining chasers still in contention, Troy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give up the ghost just yet. We still do have the underhand chop coming our way. A lot can happen in this discipline. We might see a DQ. We might see slower times than expected. So there's still a little bit of movement in this final discipline, but right now Georgia Lewis has I wouldn't say a stranglehold on that top spot, but she's got a solid point score, and she is in a good way, and she can literally come out onto the stage and if she has a clean cut on the underhand, which we saw in the demos the other day. She's pretty solid in this discipline. We may see her atop the podium, but I'm not putting any bets on anyone at this point because we've seen so many changes in the lead today. It's crazy. So let's take a look at our next discipline, and that is the underhand chop, our final one of the day.
Underhand chop. In the past, the underhand chop technique was used to split logs. Standing on a horizontally anchored block, the athletes use an axe to cut through a 30-centimeter log. The block has to be worked from both sides.
Underhand chop. Okay, we got 6 heats now in this underhand. Sorry, 5 heats we should have, I believe. Okay, so yes, as you see on the screen now, we'll have 10 of our athletes. And first up will be Louise Ellison and Izzy Bignell. Sorry, Izzy Bignell and Charlie Way, I beg your pardon, in the first of these heats. Is listed as heat 2, but we're skipping through to bring out Izzy and Charlie.
So again, as you saw from our underhand chop description, they have to cut through from both sides of the block and split that block in the fastest time possible. Here we go.
Okay, athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
So Charlie Way into it right away very quickly. You're going to have to keep an eye on that if she didn't jump the gun at all. I don't think she did, but she was fast into that block, and she's got a really, really nice start going on. She should switch to that second side fairly quickly. Izzy Bignell working hard on that first side. She's got a nice open cut on that first side. Scarfs on both sides looking pretty clean as Charlie Way moves over to that second side now and starts working towards getting through that block. Izzy switching sides. She was very tentative about that switch as she gets on to that second side now and starts chipping that block out. It's plenty of support from the audience that's on hand here live. And Charlie Way looking like she's pretty close to getting it. It's a nice clean second side for Charlie. And Izzy Bignell looking really good on that second side as well. We saw her in the demos the other day, looking very good. And Charlie Way is through in a 58.67 personal best. Izzy Bignell just passing the minute mark here, and she's done it in a PB of 103.81. Solid underhands for our 2 women on deck here today. Very, very nice.
Congratulations, both cuts are good.
You can see here on, I think that's Charlie's. Yeah, she's got really smooth sides on the scarf there. I mean, just fantastic targeting by her. Gets in nice and clean, very, very quick through that first side, and managed to get on the second side. You can see Izzy tentative as she goes around to that second side. That will all come with time and effort. I mean, it's her second year competing on the women's national level here, so it's a big deal, and she's got herself a personal best. But Charlie Way with the time to beat so far with a 58.45, and that was a nice split by Charlie. She did a good job there, and this final driver from Izzy also very, very good steps down, and that's a clean cut for both of them.
Heat 3 now. In our final discipline, the underhand shot, we have Sarah Cox and Sophie Wren.
Hey, Atlas, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
All right, both Sophie and Sarah getting right into it here. Sarah Cox getting instructions again from the sidelines. Bit of a sticky axe there for Sophie Wren as she got caught and had to wrestle it out. Should see one of them, if not both of them, switch to that second side fairly quickly now. Yep, Sarah Cox onto that second side. Sophie Wren about 2 drivers behind on that second side, and we'll see how those chips start to fly as they get into that block. We can hear Gerald on the sideline still hammering away at the instructions for Sarah Cox on stage right now. Sophie Wren looking like she might be getting close to it, and Sarah Cox has done it along with Sophie Wren more or less at the same time. 109.40 and a 110.40. Or 110.20, excuse me, for Sophie Wren. So both personal best for these women. Great job. And you can hear Gerald in the background yelling and yelling and yelling. And one of the things I thought was super funny is keep breathing.
Great advice for anyone.
Yes,
Not
agreed.
just in timber sports.
Hey, congratulations, both cuts are good.
All right, some adjustments there by our competition control center as well. So they've actually improved on their time. 108.81 for Sarah Cox and a 109.76 for Sophie Wren. So here's the start for Sophie. She got in there quick. She had some good pace to start things off with. Huh? It is tiring though. I mean, you know, you're basically sprinting through this block. Nice and smooth sides there. And you can see Sarah was really pleased with that as she gives us a fist bump at the end.
Troy, we know the countless amount of hours, minutes goes into the training and the efforts these athletes put in, but one big factor is the wood and the wood on the day and
Yes.
where it's come from. So it has a full journey.
Yeah, I mean, this is competition level wood. I think we may even have a clip because a lot of it is questions from time to time. You know, we get the environmentalist people coming up and it's like, what's going on with this wood? You wasting so much of it. We really don't. So maybe we can get a quick look at our wood management and how it actually works here for Timber Sports.
We as STIHL Timber Sports pride ourselves that all wood is sustainably grown, harvested and recycled to minimise the overall amount of wood processed. Firstly, this popular wood is grown on certified plantations. Secondly, the white pine for our sawing disciplines is only sourced from certified forest management. After all our STIHL competitions, all the spent wood is collected and recycled right down to the wood chips and sawdust, which, for example, is converted into renewable energy in the form of wood pellets for biomass. We quest to find certified partners. This ensures that all newly planted trees are nurtured and managed, promoting maximum efficiency and sustainability for the future conservation of our valuable forests.
Therefore, as you can see, with good harvesting practices and good management with silviculture, the ground is quickly replaced by new trees, or could even be used for arable for farmers and future rotations.
Okay, we're right at the business end of things now. Heats 4 of our underhand chop as we approach the finishing line of our Women's British Pro Championships of 2026. We've got a former champ taken to the stage in Zoe Penlington, and one woman who is desperate for a podium finish, as is Zoe, but Libby Arrowsmith.
Tail of the tape definitely gives the advantage here to Libby Arrowsmith with a 48.30 personal best. We know that Zoe's been working on these chopping disciplines, so I'm curious to see how she gets on with the underhand chop here today. I expect we're probably going to see her under that minute mark, and that's what I'm going to be crossing my fingers for her, because we know that she's working so hard on this as well.
Hey, athletes, ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Libby Arrowsmith right into it quickly. A couple of sticky axes all ready for Zoe. And now she's chipping out nicely on her block. Stage left. Oh yeah, looking really good for Zoe on that first side. She's got a wide open face. Libby Arrowsmith switched over to that second side already. Zoe Penlington cleaning up on that first side nicely as she steps over to that second side. Libby Arrowsmith on side number 2 here. And she is really keeping that pace up. She has got really good pace. In fact, we may see a good time from Libby Arrowsmith here today as she's through it. Oh, is she really through it? Yes, she is. They're going to change that time a little bit. It could well be an official national record there. We'll have to wait until the Competition Control Center has their hands on it. Looks like it has been changed to a personal best for Libby at 39.99. And Zoe Penlington right there at 58.11, a personal best. Yes, under a minute. A great cut by Zoe Penlington in second place in the underhand chop results. Very, very nice. Well, Libby Arrowsmith definitely came to play, and she did in fact do that, breaking her own personal best time by quite a bit. In fact, she previously owned it at 48.30, and she got down to 39.79.
Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
Well done, Zoe. Well done, Libby. And Libby really going through the gears today. You know, consistency, you've talked about this, Troy, about putting things from practice into play, and Libby has gone very, very well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. And what I was really impressed by with Libby is the pace that she was hitting with. You know, she was just keeping that flow going. She did step down there at the end, and had she gone complete through, that would have definitely been a national record. But yeah, that's as close as you can get to being really, really near perfect on that one with a great cut.
All right, next up, two incredible competitors. We've seen them both in full flow today. At the peak of their powers, we've got Georgia Lewis and Kat Eccles. So this is the final performance for each of these athletes. It's all got to be left on the line now.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Kat quick into it. Good pace by both Georgia and Kat. Wow, Kat Eccles is just going at it. Georgia Lewis keeping up with her really well on that first side. This may be about the fastest heat we've seen of the day between these two as they both switch over to the second side. Georgia Lewis about a half driver ahead of Kat Eccles, but a sticky axe gave Kat Eccles a chance to catch up there on that second side. Here we go, getting into it now on that second side, going deep for both of them. Georgia Lewis, Kat Eccles looking very good. Kat Eccles is close to cutting through, and she's got it! A 35.70 national record, and a little hippity hop there for Kat Eccles. What a great cut, and a PB 39.69 for Georgia Lewis. They just continue to fall by the wayside. I'm loving all of these records.
Okay. Congratulations. Both cuts are good.
So a new national record for Kat Eccles there with a 35.45, a great cut. And Georgia Lewis, 39.38, sitting in second place in the underhand chop. Libby Aerosmith with her fantastic personal best at 39.79 in third. As we take a look back here at these two amazing women here on their underhand chop.
Yeah, I mean, this is white hot, Troy. So proud of Kat Eccles there because, you know, she posts a lot of her training videos at home, and she's got quite small spaces within which to work and train, and to pull off a national record like that.
Well, you can do underhand chop in the kitchen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but to shave such an amount of time off her own PB and set a national record, that's 3 national records we've had out of 4 disciplines today.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That really says everything about where it is going for the women here and the state of women's timber sports, generally speaking. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting competition, the last heat coming up, and then we get to see who's going to win this thing overall. But we're not going to give away any secrets just yet.
Yeah, the screw is really being turned in our stage team. Prepare for the last of our athletes with the championship on the line. The pressure is on. The heat has been turned up.
Also, if you're interested out there, for all you young kids, maybe not George and the gang, you can hook up on TikTok and follow us at STIHL Timber Sports GB. There's plenty of stories and things that you can watch and check out where Timber Sports is concerned. You can also get involved in the conversation with hashtag #KissMyAxe or hashtag STIHL Timber Sports, and post pictures, see what's up, and just follow us in general. That's always fun to see what kind of things people come up with and the kind of stories people post on the various platforms there. So, yep, get involved in our socials, and you can see what's really happening. So last little bit of preparation on stage for our final heat between Justine Ellis and Rachel Ferrington.
And this seems apt that these two athletes are wrapping things up. Justine has had a great day today. Brilliant to have her back with us for this Women's Pro Championship of 2026 And our current champion, Rachel Ferrington. Last chance for these two to shine today here in Malvern, Worcestershire in Great Britain.
Rachel Ferrington previously holding the national record for the underhand chop, so she's definitely going to want to reclaim that from Kat Eccles, but she's going to need to put in the work here for sure.
Yeah, looking at Justine's personal best, not far behind that national record. So
not at all.
She has got potential, both got potential to go one better today. And here they come onto the stage. Rachel Ferrington, our reigning champ, for one last rodeo today. Their last discipline of the day for Justine Ellis as well.
Okay, athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Rachel Ferrington, Justine Ellis getting into it on that first side. Good pace by Justine Ellis. Rachel going for those big, heavy drivers. She's got some clean cuts in there, though. And I think Rachel should go to that second side fairly quickly here. Yeah, there she goes, moving around to that second side. She starts on that second side to get into that cut and make that cut through. Big chips falling off for Rachel Ferrington. Justine Ellis still on that first side, going a bit deeper. And now she switches over and starts hitting on that second side. Rachel Ferrington looking good. A little bit of a hop on her axe there. Hopefully nothing happened to the edge. And she is through in 45. That was a sneaky cut through. Justine closing in on it here, but she took a long time on that first side. Passing the minute mark here, so well past personal best for both of our competitors on stage now, and one or two more drivers should do it, as we can see that axe starting to sneak its way through the cut. Looking for those power drivers, and there it is, 1:18.35, and a shake of the head for Justine Ellis.
Okay. Congratulations, both cuts are good.
No flourish this time, Alex. All right, so the stage crew will come up and get things ready for our awards ceremony, which will be coming up directly after, and we'll take a quick look back here at the underhand chop from Rachel Ferrington and Justine Ellis. Sometimes you're the axe and sometimes you're the log. In this case, a little bit slower cuts for both of our fantastic competitors. And that was a sneaky cut through there by Rachel Ferrington. I barely even saw that block split, and there you could see a solid step down from Justine Ellis. So looking at the underhand chop results, Kat Eccles with a national record at the top of the list. Georgia Lewis sitting in second place, and Libby Aerosmith in third place. All three of them with fantastic times, 35, 39, and 39 and change. And the final results, there we have it. We have a new champ with 42 points. Georgia Lewis takes over the top spot in the rankings here, with Libby Aerosmith taking that silver medal, and Kat Eccles will be on the podium in the bronze medal position in 3rd place. That's a real nice day for Georgia Lewis, though, and you could say that she's definitely earned that win here today. Fantastic performances around. If we look back at some of the results here, we had personal bests almost in every discipline along the way, and in a lot of cases, every single competitor received a personal best. For instance, in that single buck, with the exception of one, I mean, it's great performances throughout the day for all of our women. And we'll take a short moment here to send it up to the main stage, where Alex will be leading us through the rest of the way. So back to me first, and then let's go up to Alex, who is on stage now for our awards ceremony with all of our fantastic athletes.
Thank you so much, Troy. Yes, I'm sure you'll agree, everybody. We've seen some amazing action here. National records have tumbled, so have the PBs in each and every discipline. Our incredible women have undertaken today. It's been a truly tremendous day's worth of competition here at Malvern in Worcestershire for the 2026 British STIHL Timber Sports Championships. Been delighted to cover it alongside you today, Troy. Now we're going to bring our athletes out and give them their due. Here we go. Louise Ellison, Sophie Wren, Izzy Bignall, Sarah Cox, Justine Ellis, setting a national record today, Zoe Penlington, Rachel Ferrington, Charlie Way. Amazing work all round, and presenting the trophies today are Simon Hewitt and Vicky Tween from STIHL GB Marketing. And that brings me nicely now to our top 3, our podium finishers. In 3rd place today, we welcome out Catherine Eccles. Amazing work today from Kat. Another national record has been set by her. Congratulations on your 3rd place today, Kat. In 2nd place, our runner-up in this Great British Championships. Give it up for Libby Aerosmith. Congratulations, Libby, on your runner-up prize. And now we are ready to crown our new Great British Champion of 2026. Let's hear it for Georgia Lewis. Congratulations once again to our top 3 athletes, Kat, Libby, and our new champion, Georgia Lewis. And it's time for some fizzy wine. And Georgia, now that you're covered in fizzy wine and you can't see, this is the perfect time for me to conduct an interview with you, our new champion, Georgia. Firstly, just whilst you compose yourself here and get dry, congratulations once again to Georgia from the public here in Malvern, Worcestershire, and everyone watching worldwide. on our live stream. Amazing performance, Georgia. You've set a national record in the standing block. You've set 4 personal bests in every discipline you've taken part in today. But at what point today, Georgia, did you feel it was really coming together for you?
I don't think you can really guarantee at any point that it's fully coming together and you're going to be on the podium, but I think all the girls are amazing and put on an amazing performance. It's a real strong field, so yeah, I couldn't be really confident, but I was really happy with all my events, how they were going, so yeah, really good, yeah.
Great work throughout, Georgia, and you're a runner-up last year in 2025. You've gone one better today, you're our new champion. What's given you that extra determination to succeed this year?
I just want to win. I want to do well. I want to exceed at everything I do, and I got an amazing family and trainer, and all my Glenn and everyone helping me. So yeah.
I know you say you want to succeed in everything you do. You've got so many hobbies and interests alongside STIHL, Timbersports. I don't know how you have time to do all this, but what are your plans for the summer?
Keep chopping. Keep chopping. Traveling around the world to do it and spend time with family and friends, and do a bit of baking on the side as well, so keep doing that.
A bit of baking and a bit of chopping just for fun. Now, I know you want to give credit to this amazing group of women, our supreme athletes here today. What drives you all forward and how do you keep each other motivated?
Oh, it's such a good community. I think we're all like a family, and everyone supports each other, so it's just amazing. We all get behind each other and push each other on, so it's really good.
Amazing work, Georgia. We're going to let you enjoy the adulation of your crowd today. Our new British champion. Give it up once again for the 2026 winner, Georgia Lewis. Congratulations, Georgia.
Bacon and chopping. I think I see a new podcast in our future here somewhere along the lines. Big congratulations, though, to Kat Eccles, Libby Aerosmith, and Georgia Lewis, our podium finishers here today at the British STIHL Timbersports Women's Championship. It was really, really good to see all those personal bests falling by the wayside. And like I continue to say, the level is improving year to year to year with a pack of women that are ready to take that top spot any given time they step on stage. We hope you enjoyed our show today. Please do join us again at 3 o'clock as we will have the rookies here on stage for their British Rookie Championship. So until then, enjoy the rest of the day. Come back and see us at 3. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone. Ciao.